Hi everybody. So I'm going to do the Knowledge Foundation video for Unit 3. I'm going to go this way. Scroll down to Unit 3. You'll only see one. If you saw a second one down there, that was because that one's going to become Unit 4. So this unit we are looking at physical and cognitive / language development, recognizing that language development is a type of cognitive development. Physical being growth in your body, growth in development, and cognitive being your thinking, concept development, the way your brain processes information, including the processing and development of language. Realize that child development is a complex process that occurs in a natural sequence and pattern. So we have what we know is norms for the way certain skills and processes develop. But we are looking to see how these play out between birth and 36 months, which is our infant toddler age as defined by our course. So we're going to look at some sequences of behaviors. We're going to look at some, there is a start to a lab project for this class. And you're going to take a look at that. And in there, you're going to look at specific skills that develop. So this video will be going there under step 1. This unit we are covering chapter 2. So you do need to read chapter 2 of your textbook. Your PowerPoint is included there down below. Then you'll want to complete unit 3 knowledge builder and knowledge application assignment and begin your lab assignment 1. Your knowledge builder is similar to the ones that you did last week. There are 2 lectures here by this gentleman. He does a great job, so I didn't feel a need to expand upon them. And you're going to go over these assignments. If you went in the builder early, these are the ones that got pulled out because I realized they'd gone in the wrong knowledge builder. So the first one's regarding 10 questions regarding physical development. These should be probably 1 sentence or so, unless it says discuss. Discuss always means a couple more. And then number 2, there is infant cognitive development, 7 questions regarding that. And then you're going to watch the video at the bottom. 2 videos. One is looking at what does an infant teacher include? And I want you to describe your vision. What would be your vision of the ideal, perfect early child care provider that was for infants or toddlers? What are the positive traits? If you want to break it out and just do an infant teacher or just do a toddler teacher, that's fine. How is that teacher promoting physical, cognitive, and language development? And then discuss in 2 to 3 ways young infants and toddler learn early literacy and language skills. Be specific. What ways are they bringing in? What are the teachers specifically doing to support that language development? And what are the kids doing? For example, they might be mimicking or things like that. Excuse me. Okay, so that's your knowledge builder for this week. Then your knowledge application asks you to answer a series of questions as well. And this is directly tied to your textbook. So make sure you're using your PowerPoint as a guide, using your textbook, but I want it as it applies to our textbook. So what is the difference between development and learning? Be specific. What is cognitive constructivism? Give an example of a way a toddler constructs their knowledge. So how do they make their understanding occur? In 2 to 3 sentences, describe Piaget's sensory motor stage, a very important stage for the infant toddlers. Discuss 3 skills that a toddler in the pre-operational stage will do. These are your older toddlers. So your sensory motor is probably ages 1 through birth through 2. Then they're going to move into the beginning stages of the pre-operational, which is in the age of 2 and 3. And then, of course, 4 and up would be, they'd also be in that stage at 4, but that isn't covered by this class. So I'm really looking at the toddlers that are your 2 years to 36 month olds. Listen and describe the 12 levels of exploratory pretend play. This is directly out of your book. So it's those levels of exploratory and pretend play I'm looking for. What did Vygotsky mean by private speech? Define infant-directed speech and telegraphic speech, and discuss what baby signing is and what are the benefits of using baby sign. That is your application. Then your first lab assignment, because this does have a lab attached, not a 16 hours of field work, but a lab. What does that mean? You're going to need to connect to kids. And so in this lab assignments, you will have 2 weeks to complete it. You're going to choose one of those age groups, 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months, 12 to 18 months, 18 to 24 months. Once you have chosen that age group that you want to work with, forget about the rest of them. And there's even more age groups in the document that I'm going to give you. You are going to pick one skill out of each of the developmental areas listed: health and motor, cognitive, social, emotional, language, and literacy, and complete the following for each of the 4. You're going to name the developmental area. Simply tell me which area you found it in: health and motor, cognitive development, social, emotional. That just helps me. Number 2, list the skill word for word. And you're going to see my example down below. Number 3, describe in 2 to 3 sentences a routine day-to-day way to build that skill. Don't give me a one-time activity. This should be something that you can do on your daily running of your classroom, your home, whatever program you're working with kids. How could you build that skill? So I chose an age group that I didn't allow you to choose from. That way you guys cannot take my example. So I give one example of the whole process, but remember, you're going to do this 4 times in each of the areas. So I chose 3 to 6 months. The first area I looked at was cognitive development. The skill was reaches for objects. So number 3, in order to build this skill during floor time, I'll place objects just outside of reach for the infant. As the infant reaches and grabs the objects, I'll make the object move a little further and further out, giving them a challenge, right? Also, during diapering change time, I will have an object that the infant can reach for and play with at that time. I will place used toys in a bucket after to be cleaned before use again. That's just a good process. The document that you need to use, and this is important, is here at the bottom, using the attached checklist down here. I'm going to open it up. Okay, it's the CLI Infant and Toddler Checklist. And here's the different areas. Remember, I said I chose 3 to 6 months. And you can choose each of the different areas. You may choose any of the skills, but remember, you're going to cover this with one skill under each area. So I should have 4 sections in your writing that tell me each of this. Since this is a lab assignment, I like to give 2 weeks for it. And it's 80 points, 20 points for each of the 4 areas. And so you will have it's presented in this unit, but it's not due until the next unit. Okay, that's it for this unit. Keep up the great work. I see everyone's getting stuff in on time. I love it. And I will talk to you next unit.